We live in an age of convenience where we can talk or text anyone we want at any time. This can be very beneficial at times, but it also can be a great issue if it is done while driving. Texting and driving affects a large part of the population in the US, and it needs to be stopped. In 2014, the Federal Communications Commission and multiple other sources reported that nearly 1.6 million accidents, hundreds of thousands of injuries, and thousands of deaths occurred from texting and driving. Many people are unaware of these statistics and the outcomes of texting and driving, but there are also many people who are aware of these horrible tragedies that occur from texting and driving. So why do they still do it? Is it because of convenience, peer pressure, or even because people think that they can multitask, so it's not a big deal for them to text and drive? All of these will be answered as we go through the problems, causes, and solutions to texting and driving. First of all, we will go over the problems of texting and driving. We will go over two problems in this section. First, not only does it take people's eyes off the road, but it also takes their mind and focus off of their surroundings. The AAA Foundation has done research showing that people cannot focus on the road while they are texting. When people look down at their phone, they're focused on the reply they're going to send to someone or the text, and they are not focused on things such as road signs, speed limit signs, stop signs, corner up ahead signs, or even stoplights. When people look down, they also could start drifting off the road or even into someone else. All of these can lead to horrible accidents. Second, this not only affects them and others in the accident, but it also affects emergency services coming to help with the accident. EMTs, paramedics, fire department, and even police all come to the scene. All of these are put in harm's way, especially if it is on a highway where people are traveling at high speeds. It also can take resources that are needed somewhere else for some other incident. Second of all, we will go over some of the causes people text and drive. We will go over three main causes in this section. To start with, convenience can play a major role in texting and driving. People want to send a text right away. They do not want to wait to reply to people. And some people don't want to wait for a response. They think it's not a big deal to send a text right now because they have their phone right next to them. But when in reality, all it takes is those few seconds for something to go drastically wrong. The International Business Times and multiple other sources that record if someone is traveling at 55 miles per hour and looks away for up to 5 seconds, they can travel the length of a football field. That is plenty of time for something to go drastically wrong. Secondly, there is peer pressure. Those in their youth often follow the example of their peers and those around them. They see other people texting and driving, so they think, what is the harm in them doing it themselves? They think it's not a big deal and nothing will ever happen to them because they can drive with one hand and it's not a big deal to look back every few seconds. All it takes is those few seconds for something to go wrong. Lastly, there's multitasking. The National Safety Council states that multitasking is a myth and that the brain can only focus on one thing at a time. This often results in crashes due to delayed braking times and people not comprehending traffic signals. People think that they can focus on the road while texting, but when in reality, they can only focus on one or the other. Third of all, we will go over the solutions to stop texting and driving. There are multiple solutions to stop texting and driving that I will go over here, some of which have already been put into place. First of all, we'll go over a solution that has already been put into action out on the streets. According to distraction.gov, an official US government website for distracted driving, many states have already made it illegal for people to text and drive. Some states have even made it illegal for people to be on their phones at all while driving. People will receive tickets for texting and driving, and hopefully this will be enough incentive for people to stop texting and driving because first of all, they do not want to receive the ticket, and secondly, they do not want to pay the fine. Secondly, we can help by starting with ourselves. We can set an example for those around us And we can also help others realize the importance of not texting and driving. When we are driving with passengers, we can wait until we reach our destination to start texting. We can show them that we do not need a reply right away and not give in to pressure. When we're in the vehicle with someone else who is driving, we can also remind them of the big picture and that it is not as smart to text and drive because horrible accidents happen when people text and drive. Lastly, there are a few apps and devices that people can buy to help prevent texting and driving. Some of these apps will prevent people from being on their phones once they enter the vehicle. Others will stop people from being able to text once they reach certain speed limits. Yes, they do cost money, but it is worth it to prevent someone from making a mistake they might regret for the rest of their lives. In conclusion, having the convenience of having a phone right next to us can be very nice at times, but it does not mean we should always use it. I feel that the solution to this issue lies within us. We can help those around us see the big picture and realize that it is not worth it to text while driving and end up injuring someone else, ourselves, or even getting someone killed. We can help stop texting and driving, starting right here, right now, in our own communities, by setting the example and help educating others on texting and driving.